What's cooler than one model kit? It's two model kits. Hello and welcome, dear scale modelers, to my small hobby YouTube channel. My name is Toma and today we're going to be looking at two vehicles, which are BAM and BAM. Let's put them up there. These two military vehicles are pretty well known, although I do not see a lot of YouTubers making any sort of video on them, so I decided to make my own. By all comparison, these two kits are very old. The Willys Jeep is 1997 tool, and the SAS is 1974. Of course, there have been some modifications and retooling and such, but for the most part, they are very old kits. But nevertheless, they are a staple on any diorama because they are just sportive vehicles and they are iconic and they're very good. Both of them come with figures. One just with driver and the other one with one driver and a support personnel inside. One is of course Africa, and the first one is just your standard military US trooper support vehicle. The British Special Forces car also has a very cool story that you can read on the manual, and I would highly recommend that you do so because it's really interesting to read. Both of these vehicles can be upgraded via Edwards photo etch parts, and one of them I happen to have. This one is for the SAS Jeep and it's awesome. You will see it in the review. The Willys Jeep for the American also has Edwards photo etch parts, but I do not have it, but we're gonna get it in the store very soon. These two kits are absolutely wonderful for their age, and I think that anybody is able to tackle to build one of these simply because it's not a lot of parts, and the amount of effort putting into them as far as constructing them is probably not going to be that substantial. And because they are military vehicles, they're probably going to be even easier to paint, especially if you're like a beginner. Something like this might be a very good starting point for you to get into the hobby, because you'll be able to kind of practice your weathering and military appeal and all that. And yeah, I think that this one would be for the beginners too. Alright! As per usual, I will try to give you a little information on the Willys Jeep itself, then we'll take a look inside the box, and then we're done. Without a doubt, the Jeep Willys MB occupies a significant position in the whole automotive history. The origin of Jeep vehicles dates back to early 1941 when US forces ordered the Willys, Ford and Bentham companies to develop a prototype for a small-size multi-purpose four-wheel drive vehicle. During the early stages of World War II, Germany had achieved outstanding success by using motorized troops with their blitzkrieg tactics. It became a pressing need for Allied nations to process through a reliable vehicle with excellent cross-country ability. In November of 1941, the Army, with alternations on the front grille and hood of the Ford design, chose the Willys vehicle as the basis for the mass production model. This marked the birth of the Willys MB Model B that provided unmatched ability to transport Allied troops during the conflict. The early Willys MB had welded slat-type front grille. Due to the necessity of increasing production, the Army ordered Ford to join the mass production using the Willys MB's blueprints. It was designated the GPW, and a simple processed steel front grille was introduced. During World War II, the Willys MB and Ford GPW ran over every battlefield. As a means to transit for soldiers, it played an important role in bringing the Allied victory. It was also used for a liaison, command, communication, and sometimes even as an ambulance or a light firearms carrier. Production reached approximately 640,000 units by August 1945. Alrighty, so the first thing is the box itself. It's like this, pretty neat, nice drawing. And on the side we have, some other Tamiya stuff. Like for instance here, and on the back there's nothing. Okay, so let us open the box. As you can see, there are sprues that are all in this one ginormous little bag, and on this particular kit there are no decals, so yeah, and no clear parts as well. Let's take them out. First order of business is this little carnage sprue versus, you know, external pieces like machine guns. You have like the machine guns, you know, on top, the fuel cans, and some bags that go on top of the car, as well as a shovel, some ammo, and yeah, the two guys, you know, the butts, the legs, the, you know, torsos and the hands. Pretty nice. Second sprue. Right, so the second sprue is basically the outer shell of the car, and as you can see, you have to assemble the car from at least 3 pieces. So we have the chassis, you have the 2 sides, the inner portion of the car, the hood, and then you have some bumpers, you know, the grille, the steering wheel, I think this is like a water tank or something, I don't know. The dashboard, 2 seats on the back, and then there's the back tailgate. So this is on the bottom side. The third and final sprue is the basically just cans of fuel and the wheels. Of course, the wheels don't turn; they're fixed. But the detail is pretty nice for the period. You can see it's an older kit because there are flashings. You have to kind of smooth them out, sand them a little bit around the wheels and on the side of the cans. But it's a Tamiya kit. It's still pretty awesome, so it's pretty good. So these are the parts for the SAS Jeep. And as you can see, you have the skids or the braces on which the car rests if it gets stuck in the sand. Then you have some dashboard details, lots of straps and belts. It's pretty insane, to be honest. And on the back side, there's another PE part. I hope you'll see it. And, you know, I'll have a picture on the corner as well. You have, you know, a little mesh of grill, more insane small details of belt buckles and straps and pedals and all sorts of goodies. So this is a pretty good and substantial upgrade if you're interested for this kit. The instruction manual, as I stated in the intro, is pretty cool. Here you have like 3 rows of text, which is a story about this particular car, and it's pretty nice reading. It's a really good story. And inside, it's like just this typical Tamiya black and white fold out instruction sheet, and some additional information on why what kind of colors they were using and why they were using them, and so on and so forth. You can see here, and on the back is just even more information. You can see it all, hopefully. Okay, on with the second one. This is the American one. This is a much later version. This is a 1997 version, and well, it's basically this. Well, it's almost the same. You can see on all sides. Pretty nice. Okay, let's open it up. You have sprues that are individually packaged, as opposed to the first one where everything was just crammed in one big bag. So here are the decals and the clear parts, and I'll take them out. Okay, the clear parts. Basically, you just have, you know, the windshield and the front lights. Nothing major. The hull on this car is one big piece, as opposed to the first one where you had to you know, glue the sides and the bottom together. This one already has one made, and if you look at the bottom, you can see the stamping of 1997. So it's pretty cool. It's a very oldie but goldie, I would say. Very nicely detailed. Some flashing, nothing really serious, because lots of this stuff won't be seen and or can be covered up with other parts that are going on this kit. First major big sprue for the car, and as you can see, or maybe not, I don't know, there are quite a few pieces on this sprue, all of them better molded than the previous one. You can immediately see the difference in the quality, but still, you know, it's an older kit, but it's Tamiya and it's groovy. You have the hood, the bottom portion of the car, which is this chassis. Then you have the grille with the lights. Oddly enough, you have the engine, because I'm guessing you can display this model with the hood open or closed. But you know, I don't think many people will be doing that unless you're like doing a diorama where you have the Willys Jeep breaking down, or you know, mechanic looking into the motor, which gives you an opportunity. Why not? You know, it's a good one. So you have the exhaust, you have the back seat covers, then the front windshield that can be up or down. Yeah, it's pretty nice. The last sprue contains again a lot of peripherals, a lot of the bits and bobs that go on and all around the car, as well as the 4 wheels, or actually the 5 wheels, and the spare tire, of course. Then we have like the axes, the shovels. This is also the carnage sprue again. Again, these things are much better molded than the first one, and it shows because it's a younger model, a younger sprue. And on this side, you can see it's like this. So here are the decals, and this one actually does have decals. American decals, look at those. Pristinely printed decals. Sharp, clear, fantastic. Not many of them, but still, great stuff. You can make various different models and markings for this car, and yeah, you know, good stuff all around. The instruction manual for this one is basically the same as all other Tamiya kits. Although this one doesn't have a story like the other one, it does have general information in the front about the car itself. So it's a fold-out manual. You can see the assembly part, and on the back, how you paint it and mark it. It's easy peasy. So those were the Jeeps that I've shown you guys, and as I mentioned, I think that this one can be tackled by a beginner because it's not really a lot of parts, to be honest, and it's Tamiya, so for all encasing purposes, it's gonna go together like butter. There is huge potential for learning how to weather it because it's a military vehicle after all. But also, you don't really need a lot of paints to paint this vehicle because unlike, you know, modern cars or like civilian cars or vehicles for that matter, they have like a huge array of paint that you need to use in order to make it, you know, realistic. Here on military vehicles, usually they're not so much, for obvious reasons, because military vehicles are basically just one color and they have to blend in with the background, so obvious. Well, that's basically all that I have to say about this topic. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.